you through it.
Good. Okay, knowing what they're going through, like putting yourself in their shoes. Is that being empathetic? If I think like somebody and I put myself in their shoes, okay? And so we talked about the word of the belt. Winning black belts know who they are and where they're going. We talked about how to set and achieve goals, okay? And we gave you some very important steps to setting and achieving the goals. So everybody do it with me. Take your hand, bring it up here. Let's review what we learned last week. Everybody go like this. And I want you to say, know what you want. That's that first step. Remember, if you can say all four of these, then you're good at setting and achieving goals, okay? So this is part of that learning how to set and achieve goals is first, I got to know what my goal is, okay? And when I'm going to get it. That's the other part is the date, writing it down. When am I going to achieve that? The second step, everybody go like this and say, have a plan. Good job. All right, I got to see everybody follow. I'm watching y'all. I want to see you all following along. Everybody go like this, make a map like this, and everybody say, have a plan. There you go. Okay, so I have a plan, and then I said you got to take action, okay? You got to take consistent action. That's part of setting and achieving goals, okay? Following that plan on a regular basis, and then the next one is I said renew and review your goals, okay? Those are the first steps. Let's say it one more time before we go on to today's, while we get everybody logged in. Everybody go like this and say, know what you want, and then everybody say, have a plan, and then everybody say, take action, and then renew and review your goals. Okay, that's something you should be doing on a daily basis, having that awareness. Okay, and we said that winners are more aware of everybody else. They know, they're well aware of how little they really know. So at the beginning, we said when you come in as a white belt, you're kind of like blown away. There's just so much to learn. There's so much that I don't know. And that's called unconscious incompetence. You really just, you're like, I don't know what I don't know, okay? And then we move into conscious incompetence. We start to realize, wow, there's a lot to learn at gold belt, okay? And that's why this is the gold belt word of the belt, not the white belt, okay? And we said winners can look in the mirror and see what lies beyond their own eyes. You are a winner when you think, when what you think and how you feel and what you do are nearly consistent. So all three of those are congruent. You're doing things, seeing things, and everything is consistent. Okay, that's that self-honesty. And then we said winners are sensitive. They're more tuned in and more turned on than others around them. They know what's going on. Okay, they don't need extra stimulants to fulfill their lives. Okay, they know that they have what it takes inside. Okay, and then accepting and empathetic. Winners are open. They see the many alternatives in every situation, okay? And positive self-awareness is accepting the fact that every human being is distinctly unique, okay? Think about your class or your workplace, okay? Everybody is very distinct. Everybody's different, and that's a good quality. But that's part of that awareness is you have to accept that. You have to be accepting that, hey, just because they might think this way doesn't mean that they're wrong, okay? And especially nowadays, there's a lot of different beliefs out there, right? We've said that some people believe very strongly in certain things, okay? But being open-minded is part of that being self-aware. And that's a winner's self-trait, is that you're very much accepting, okay? So no two people are alike. So positive self-awareness is realizing that skin color, birthplace, religious beliefs, financial status, things like that, intelligence, are not measures of worthiness. You are worthy for your uniqueness. And that's really what positive self-awareness is, okay? And we said that accepting and empathetic already, all right? And so as we went through the end of the week, I gave you a homework assignment. I said, I want you to look around at others around you. Look at yourself through other people's eyes. Imagine what they would say about you if they were to get up in front of a group of people. And I want you to write down some things that come to mind, okay? Did anybody do that they could share with me what they think other people would say about them if they stood up right now? Can anybody share? Miss Sophie, I'm going to pick on you because I just saw you turn your video screen off. So Miss Sophie, what would, if somebody in your class right now were to stand up and say something about you, what would they say? I must have lost you. Okay, Mr. Busselman, I'll pick on you. What would somebody say if they stood up right now, and maybe somebody from your school, at school, what would they say about you?
They would say that I'm helpful because I help a lot around the school and like help people know where to go if they need help.
I believe that because I know. So you're a black belt student. You have that nature about you because of all the leadership and servant leadership that you've learned through not only martial arts but through your parents and through community service. All those things you've learned that makes you a very helpful person. Okay, Mr. West from Longmont, what would somebody say from your class right now? What would they say about you?
That I do a good job helping around the school sometimes.
Okay, I love it. You know, we have a lot of leadership students in here, so that's that part of that servant leadership. Let's pick on an adult. Mr. Brett, how about you? What would somebody at your workplace say if they were to hop up?
I think I could get the whole gamut, anywhere from I'm the bad guy to I'm the super nice guy, and anything in between.
And that's good, right? It can have a lot of benefit to being a great leader, is that sometimes you got to be the bad guy and sometimes you got to be the good guy, right? Okay, good. Anybody else? One more person. Can somebody share what Johnstown, Mr. David, what would somebody say if they hopped up? I just unmuted you. I can hear you.
I think they would say funny, nervous.
Okay, funny and maybe nervous. Okay, and those can be very good, strong qualities if you learn how to channel that, right? And I know that you are a pretty funny guy, so good. All right, so that's part of that awareness, is just being empathetic, but also really thinking about yourself through other people's lenses as well. Okay, so then thinking about your sisters, brothers, moms, dads, and friends, what could you do today that would show them empathy? Okay, sometimes you have to be aware, though. If you're not paying attention to other people's feelings, you might not know how to help them. So what could you do for them if you did? So if you identify with your maybe your younger brother being unconfident, or maybe you could tell that your sister was having a bad day. Maybe, so I want you to, if you have an example, like maybe you knew, let's pick on Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan, have you ever noticed something about your sister? What did you notice about her? And then how did you help her?
I helped her by reading directions to her.
Good. So you helped her in school by reading something for her homework? That was good. So you might have seen that she was frustrated. So that's the thing, is you got to be empathetic. You got to be aware, and then that helps you help them. Okay, you can serve them by doing it. Okay, so that was last week's. That was the homework. So we're going to move on to chapter 2, positive self-esteem. I'm going to have one of my leaders stand up. Let me see here. Who can I have? Miss Elizabeth, can you read this slide for us? I'm going to unmute you. And go ahead, Miss Elizabeth. I want you to go ahead and read this slide here.
Chapter 2, positive self-esteem. Antonym: self-depreciation, self-doubt, self-confidence. Synonyms: self-worth, self-respect, self-confidence. Loser's self-talk: I'd rather be someone else. Winner's self-talk: I like myself. Proverb: if you love yourself, then you can give love. How can you give what you don't have?
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. So we say winner self-talk, I like myself. Okay, and this is not just positive words of affirmation for yourself, but it's also just what comes naturally when you develop self-esteem. Okay, who's ever said, I'd rather be somebody else, or I'd rather be more like them? Raise your hand if you've known somebody that you're like, I wish I was more like them. Okay, we've all said that, right? And that's really not positive self-esteem. Positive self-esteem is accepting what you are, and you can admire and respect what they are, but you don't want to say, I'd rather be different than myself and be like them. You can set goals, but you want to make sure that you take that positive self, like, I like myself the way I am, and I'm constantly improving. Okay, and that's part of that self-esteem. So positive self-esteem is one of the most important and basic qualities of a winning human being. That's why we made it our white belt word of the belt. Even though it's chapter 2, we moved it to white belt. Because if I'm not confident, I really can't be aware of other people. I really can't develop self-control and self-discipline and self-motivation. I have to really feel like I have self-worth, okay? And then I can give that to other people, okay? And that's part of that. If you love yourself, then you can give love. But how can you give what you don't have? And that's that first part, is developing self-esteem. So we're going to talk about how do we develop self-esteem. Positive self-talk is the key to developing that positive self-esteem, okay? Who talks to themselves? We all do, right? So what we say to ourselves is so important. We do a whole book review just on this book called What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, okay? And it's one of my favorite books still, because if you can learn that program, it changes your beliefs, it changes how you act, changes how you feel, and changes your actions and results, okay? And that's what makes you a winner. So we got to learn how to talk to ourselves, okay? So that's one of the keys. So we're going to start with that. So positive self-esteem. Who can read the white belt word of the belt for Mr. Ethan or Jacob? Go for it.
Okay, so positive self-esteem. Winning black belts have a feeling of self-worth and confidence. Winners develop a feeling of self-acceptance and respect.
Very good. Okay, so that's that self-esteem. Now, I want everybody to do me a favor. I want you to, if you're sitting down right now on a mat or on the floor, I want you to just go ahead and stand up real fast. Okay, everybody go ahead and stand up. It's okay if you're no longer in view. You don't need to adjust your camera. We're going to get our bodies moving here. About every 10 minutes, I'm going to try to make sure we're moving around, so we're doing something active with our bodies. Okay, now our physiology affects our psychology. We all have learned that at white belt. We know that if I stand with confidence, I'm going to feel confident. Okay, so I want you guys to make two type fists, and I want you to do something active with your body. Okay, and some people say yes. Some people say you're awesome. Some people clap. Some people high five. That's all part of that. Okay, so I want you to do something with your body that shows me that you're powerful. Show me your power. Okay, I like to see power. So everybody show me your power. This is my power. I like making tight fists, clenching my fist. Okay, now everybody show me that you're relaxed and you're confident and you're just happy with exactly where you are right now. Just show me that. Okay, now everybody show me what it's like when you're actually really tired and you've had a long day. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so we say that your physiology affects your psychology. That's the first step in developing that self-esteem. Okay, so what does winning self-esteem look like? Okay, everybody go ahead and have a seat again. Okay, we got our blood moving a little bit, so now we can go back into it. There's a growing tendency among many individuals today to display an array of expensive possessions. Oh, that's a pretty nice looking car, right? Okay, so some people might say, wow, that person has high self-esteem just based on what they're driving. Is that true always? Some people have really low self-esteem that use things like that to make other people think that they have a lot of confidence and self-esteem. But that's not always the case, okay? So this concentration on status symbols is more likely to say to others that the owner is lacking self-esteem rather than they are rich. The word esteem literally means to appreciate the value of. So if I have esteem, I really appreciate my value. I don't care what other people think. I appreciate my value. Okay? Does everybody let that sink in for a second? If I have high self-esteem, it's all about how I value myself, how I think and value what I have. I think of myself as very valuable, to appreciate the value of. Okay? So what does it look like? I mean, you can just look at some of these pictures, right? She's got self-esteem. She's white belt. She just broke a board. Okay, one of our Johnstown students back when we had a bunch of people in this building. Okay, and she broke a board, and you can just see it in her body that she's felt awesome because she broke a board and she set a goal and she achieved it. Okay, so we say that that's one of the ways to build self-esteem. Everybody say set a goal and achieve it. Okay, I want to see your lips moving so I know that you're saying it. Say set a goal and achieve it. You have to set a goal and achieve it to build that self-esteem. That's part of that white belt thing that we teach you. So confidence is built upon the experience of success. When we begin anything we new, especially, we usually have a little confidence because we have not learned from that experience yet. So what's something new that everybody has developed in COVID? Maybe something new you've experienced. Well, hopefully not COVID itself. But what's something new that you've experienced? And at first, you might have felt unconfident. I'll tell you mine. Mine was this computer platform, Zoom, and all the Ring Central meetings. I had to learn some technology, and we learned it in a couple days, right? So we were learning how to do it and setting it up. It was new to me. And there was sometimes it made me a little nervous and uneasy because I wasn't confident, okay? But I had a lot of self-esteem because I've done things like this before where I've had to figure it out. And I go, well, you know what? If I figure that other thing out, I can figure this out, okay? So that's part of becoming a black belt is you build upon success. Do you think that once you reach your black belt, you're going to be more confident in maybe other sports? Like, hey, if I can earn my black belt, man, I can stand up in front of a group of people and give a presentation, no problem, okay? Does everybody think that? That's part of that leadership that we're learning. That's my favorite part about the program and developing that confidence is when you earn a black belt, man, that's power. You can earn a black belt and you can get up in front of people and you can say, yeah, that's nothing. I can get up and do that. I had Mr. Tabor tell me about his son who tried out for soccer, and you know he had never played soccer, but he became a black belt in our program, and he got out there and he made he made the competition team, the more advanced team, his first year because he just had confidence that, hey, I can do 100 push-ups. That's easy. I can do this. I can do that. I did a whole weekend black belt test. I can get this. Okay, so building upon experience is part of that self-esteem. It is true that success breeds success. If I'm successful in one thing, guess what? I'm going to be able to carry that over into something else. And the more things that I'm successful in, the more confidence I'm going to have doing something new. Okay? But if you don't succeed in one thing, then I won't build that pillar of success that I can build bigger and bigger platforms on. Okay? And hopefully everybody's seeing that visualization. But winners focus on past successes and forget about past failures. Who's ever failed at something? If all you think about is, man, I tried that and I failed, are you going to be successful in something else if I'm focusing just on those failures? No, okay? So you have to think and focus on succeeding and all the things that you've succeeded in. But you have to build those pillars of success, okay? So success breeds success. Everybody say that. Success breeds success. I have to be successful in something to create success in another area, okay? They use errors and mistakes as a way of learning, and then they dismiss them from their minds. Man, that was just a great learning lesson. Who's ever made a mistake and go, I keep messing up, or I always do that, or I can't seem to remember that, okay? If that's what you focus on, you're never going to get past that failure cycle. You have to say, oh, that's a great way to learn, okay? If next time somebody, you do something that you make a mistake, or you might not learn a combination, or you're out there doing your form wrong, or something else, man, that was a great way to learn. If you said that with that attitude, are you going to be more successful? Absolutely, okay? So what most of us do, though, is we destroy our self-confidence by remembering past failures and forgetting about past successes. We not only remember failures, we teach them in our minds with our emotions. We tie emotions to that. So we have to stop that cycle. So establishing true self-esteem, we must first concentrate on our successes and look at the failures and negatives as corrective feedback, just a way to learn, okay? And everybody do this with your body. Everybody sit up on the edge of the chair, change your body just a little bit. Doesn't have to be standing up, okay? I just want you to change your body and just shrug your shoulders. This is one of my favorite ways to dismiss a failure. Just that was a great way to learn, okay? That was a great way to learn something. Is, well, okay? And it's not that you don't care. It's that you're dismissing your emotions by saying, I'm not going to be upset about that, not getting it right, okay? So if you ever go like this, everybody like this, go like this, go, da. Who's ever saying, ah, darn it, or ah. Okay, if I do that, then that's bringing that emotion, it's tying it to that failure. And I don't want to tie those emotions to failures. I want to think about the successes, okay? So self-acceptance and respect. Although we are always seeking improvement, the winner with positive self-esteem can accept themselves just as they are at this moment, okay? Not saying that you don't want to get better. Don't confuse that, It's not saying you're sitting here going, I'm never going to get better. I'm just the way I am, and that's it. That's not what self-acceptance and respect is. Self-acceptance and respect is saying, I'm okay with where I'm at right now, and I'm okay with knowing that I'm going to get better. Okay? That's part of that self-acceptance. So perhaps the most important key to permanent enhancement of self-esteem is the practice of positive self-talk. As we learned in the book review, the last one that we did, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself, the power of our self-talk and how it affects our programming, beliefs, attitudes, feelings, and actions is important. So therefore, starting with positive self-talk, we enforce success. That's why our instructors are very adamant about certain things. Who can tell me some things, unmute yourself, and tell me things that our instructors will make you do push-ups for if they hear you say it in the karate school? Okay, Longmont, who's that raising your hand? I'm unmuting you. You're unmuted. Go ahead, yell it out. Stand up for me and just yell it out.
Talking when somebody else is talking, sir.
Okay, well, that definitely will get you some push-ups in Mr. Wagner's house. I know that. But if you, what's something that you would say? Maybe something that's negative self-talk, something that he would hear you say that would make you earn some push-ups. We have a sign in the Fort Collins School, by the way, that says it. It says, don't say these words. It says, I can't. If you say I can't, they say that, okay? Or I'm no good at, or I'll try. Those are all things. Oh, Fort Collins, go ahead and unmute. Who's that white belt there?
I quit.
I quit? Okay, oh yeah. Mr. Thompson will make you do some push-ups if he hears that. Yeah, definitely. What's another one? I see another white belt right behind you. Stand up and yell it out.
I'm gonna stop karate forever.
Okay, I'm quitting. I'm going to stop karate forever. You know, he'd probably encourage you in a more positive way than just making you do push-ups if you said that. But that's a good negative self-talk that we don't want to say in there. Okay, Mr. Avi, go ahead and unmute yourself.
I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Those are all some negative self-talk things that we want to avoid saying. Okay, so what we say when we talk to ourselves is very important. Okay, so winners in life accept compliments by saying what? Somebody gives you a compliment, what do you say? Avi, what do you say?
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. So that is so important that you say that. I've seen that so many times where I give somebody a compliment and they go, oh, or okay, oh gee shucks. And they get like almost like shy about it. You want to accept it with that thank you. Okay, show that acceptance. That's part of that acceptance. That shows that self-esteem and confidence. Okay, so I want everybody to look at somebody in the room right now, and I want you to give them the best compliment. Give them a really sincere compliment, and then partners, you say, thank you very much, or thank you for that, and then give them a compliment back. Try that for okay, so hopefully everybody showed that good self-esteem and confidence and acceptance. Okay, we're going to talk next about what we call the 5 to Thrive. Every week I'm trying to give you some very important quick action steps that you can do right now to build your self-esteem and confidence. The number 1 is look, walk, talk, and sit your best. Right now, everybody show me, sit your best. Sit like you are showing that self-esteem and confidence. Okay? Now, your tonality, your voice, how you project yourself, that shows that confidence. So in martial arts, that's why we're always getting you to yell loud and say and count loud and be loud. Okay? We're always programming and changing our bodies and making you do that, because when you do that, it builds up self-esteem. So everything you do your best. You want to look, talk, walk, listen, react, everything your best. Okay? Introduce yourself properly. Anytime you introduce yourself, you look at them right in the eyes. You look at them, you give a good handshake. Well, now we don't do the handshakes. We do the air shakes, right? Okay, so we do the air handshakes and we look in the eyes and you say with confidence your name. That's part of that. Hi, my name is, and you say, nice to meet you. And you give a compliment or something. That's that self-esteem. Okay, write down your BAG daily. What does BAG stand for? Anybody know? If you were in this one last time, you might remember. Big, audacious goals. No, it's not that. It's blessings, accomplishments, and goals. Everybody say blessings, accomplishments, and goals. This is a routine I learned from my instructor when I was like 10 years old. He said, every morning, you're in the shower, you do this. And guess what? It's stuck with me since I was 10 years old. And I'll guarantee you, it's going to change your attitude. It's going to change how you act and your self-esteem and confidence if you do this on a daily basis. Guaranteed. Okay? So you say, I'm so thankful for these blessings in my life. I have such an amazing family. I've got a mom that cares about me. My brother is awesome, even though sometimes he pulls my hair, and sometimes that you count your blessings. You think about the things, and it doesn't take long. You do 1 minute on each of these, 3 minutes every day while you're in the shower. You just think about these things. What are my blessings? I'm so thankful for this in my life today. I'm so happy about this. Okay, so everybody write down BAG. That's going to be part of your homework assignment. Is I want you tomorrow morning when you're in the shower, bathtub, whatever you do, to clean yourself up, you're going to get in there and you're going to think, what am I thankful for? I have a blessing. Okay, and I want you to think about your accomplishments and make these short terms, not like, well, back in 1985, I did this. Okay, I want you to think about yesterday. I want you to think about, man, yesterday I was so productive. I helped my mom do 3 extra bowls in the dishes. And that was a big accomplishment for me. Okay, think about something small that you accomplished in the short term. Okay, and then maybe it was something big that you did yesterday. You know, I got a straight A report card. Wow, you should be really thinking about that accomplishment. Okay, so when you think about your accomplishments, your past, that builds your self-esteem and confidence. You go, if I did that, guess what? Today, I've got my last one is the G is goals. I think about my goals. What are my goals? What am I going to tackle today? Okay, but if I think about my blessings, I think about what I accomplished, and then I think about what my goals are for the day, I'm going to be able to set that day up and go out there and conquer and show that good self-esteem and confidence. Okay, and then we said accept compliments. That was number 4. And number 5 is love and respect each other. Show that respect, show that love. We said last week self-awareness is being accepting of other people's views. Should I show that love and respect to my neighbors who might not believe the same way as I do? Absolutely. Okay, and that's part of that love and respect. So that's the 5 to thrive. We're building that self-esteem and confidence. I want you to always be doing those things. Look, walk, talk, best, project your best voice when you're talking, sitting, making sure that you introduce yourself properly. Write down your BAG daily. Think about it in your shower talk. Then you want to accept compliments from other people, love and respect others. That's all part of that too. Okay, everybody have your 5 to thrive. Okay, you wrote them down hopefully, and I want you practicing them, because if you don't take this stuff and practice it, it goes one ear and out the other, you're not going to develop that self-esteem and confidence. Okay, and lastly, the homework. Write down your BAGs for 7 straight days between now and next week. Okay, Mr. Wagner is going to be leading next week's Matt Chat. You want to know, he might follow up and say, or Mr. Thompson, sorry, one of the two of them is going to be leading the Matt Chat because I will be out. But next week you're going to be sharing those BAGs. I want you to share a couple BAGs. Okay, show your blessings, what you're thankful for, what you accomplished, what your goals are for the day. Okay, but I want you to write down 7 straight days every morning. I want you to do this for 1 week. I want you to see what happens to yourself. If you promise to do this for 7 days, I'll guarantee you're going to feel differently next week when you sit down. Okay, find one person every day to go over the top and give a compliment to. Make it count. Those are 2 homework assignments. Think about your BAGs every day. Give a compliment. Okay, that's exactly 30 minutes on our Matt Chat today. So we ended right on time. Did everybody learn something about self-esteem and confidence? Good. Awesome. Okay, so write down your BAGs, and in your classes and your instructors are going to be asking you to share some of these and then give some compliments over the top. Start tonight. Give a compliment. Make it count. Not just, hey, wow, you got cool hair. Hey, make it count. Make it really count. All right. Share that compliment with somebody. All right. On that note, remember we have our kickboxing class this Saturday. Hopefully you guys jump in there if you're an adult. We've got that at 8 a.m. with myself. We have a couple other fun things coming up. We have a fan seminar. Every month we're going to do a special guest instructor on the Saturday leadership community class. And we're going to be getting back into sparring. We are going to be announcing some big stuff coming down the pipeline later this week as far as how we're going to safely get back to sparring, how we're going to have some safety protocols that will be, we have medical consultants working with us. Our medical coach is guiding us as we work with our guidelines to make sure that we can all safely get back into sparring. Who's excited about sparring again? Some of you guys have never sparred. Okay, I'm excited. I got to spar, and not really fully spar, but we got to do sparring drills on Saturday. Some of you guys, I see a lot of you actually were in my class on Saturday. So thank you guys for joining me tonight in the mat chat. Everybody have an awesome evening.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everybody.
Macy.